Definitely. So yeah, man, definitely you tuned into the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast with your brother Oh God and Sam Ant. Now, Eddie Murphy, Sam Ant, he was on Saturday Night Live, and man, he used his platform to unload on the now jailed Bill Cosby, Sam Ant. Your thoughts on that, and if you give the people the backstory on sort of what went down with Eddie Murphy on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, so Eddie Murphy was on there, I guess 35 years after the date he originated on there was back in 1984. Saturday Night Live, I guess it got his best ratings this past weekend, and he did a monologue in the beginning, and he talked about Bill Cosby. Now, I forgot what show he interviewed on, but he said he may do a Bill Cosby joke. To get a backstory on the history of Bill Cosby and Eddie Murphy, Bill Cosby has some very critical things to say about Eddie Murphy early on in Eddie Murphy's career. Eddie Murphy was very excited to meet a Bill Cosby, looked up to him, as did a lot of young comedians at that time, because Bill Cosby was on top of his game. Bill Cosby didn't like the fact that Eddie Murphy cursed. He didn't like the fact of how he dressed, what he wore on stage, and was basically, in a nutshell, telling him how he should talk, how he should perform, how he should walk. And as a man, he was like, well, who the hell are you? So Bill Cosby, at the height of his career, had some very critical things about Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy took it as a comedian, a perfect time to say something. Now, we all know Bill Cosby currently sits behind bars for things that I personally, my opinion is he's innocent of, but nonetheless, he sits behind bars for various reasons and reasons that aren't going to be on the screen. But people think that it was off color. Now, in my opinion, comedy is comedy on that.
I'm gonna read what he said real quick to Bill Cosby. Pull up here. He put it. But if you had told me 30 years ago I would be this boring stay-at-home house dad, and Bill Cosby would be in jail, I would have took that bet. He also went on.
Said, "Who's America's dad now?"
Who's America's dad now? Okay, good. You know, my thing is like, why use your platform to take a stab at him like that? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, why? That's almost like
it's NBC platform.
Yeah, like, yeah, that's wow, man. See, well, so why? Like, that's almost like you and your enemy, and y'all going at it or whatever. And you know he's locked up, and you outside. You like taunting him at the gate, like you gotta do 10 years now, my nigga. Like, you know what I mean? That's the stuff you just don't really do.
Damn.
You know, comedy is definitely comedy, and you know, we know what beefs like 50 Cent, Rick Ross. Rick Ross was on his deathbed. 50 Cent put memes out, said if he dies, he dies. We know that this stuff could get real brutal in comedy and beefs and stuff, but it's just like, you know, it's crazy. It's crazy, but it's even more crazier though with Bill Cosby. I think his publicist, you know, came out and pretty much said Eddie was a, you know what I mean, a slave.
I got the statement right here. Yeah. Oh God, Andrew Wyatt, he was a spokesperson for Bill Cosby. He said, Bill Cosby broke color barriers in the entertainment industry so that Murphy and other comedians like Dave Chappelle and Kevin Hart could perform. Murphy's jokes were disparaging. One would think that Murphy was given his freedom to leave the plantation so that he could make his own decisions, but he decided to sell himself back to being a Hollywood slave. That's quotes from Andrew Wyatt, spokesperson of Bill Cosby. Took it there.
Yeah.
We hear about all the shit. We ain't heard from Tory Lanez since he wrote that statement. So we hear about it, right? But he went there with it, man. What do you think about that?
Yeah, you know, yeah.
He went there with it.
Yeah, he went all the way there. You know, this had to come from Bill. Obviously, it came from Bill Cosby. He's like, yo, rip this dude. But yeah, man, I mean, what else could you call him but that?
The beef is real.
Yeah, it's real. It's like, what else could you call him? I mean, like, that's why we always get on here and we talk about the people who would just go to any length to entertain you, whether that be put on a dress, whatever they got to do. And it just goes to show, like, look, they will do anything. They're being controlled by what this machine wants them to do. They don't care about the image. They don't care about their people. They just care about making a dollar. So they'll go to the length to throw on a dress, act like a woman and all that, and even go to the length of tearing down their own brother on a major platform like Saturday Night Live on NBC.
You don't think he should have did it?
Nah. I mean, it's old beef. I mean, you know, I'm not going to say, I understand, again, what goes on with beefs and stuff, but I don't think he should have did, being as who he is. I think it was definitely a low blow, and it definitely showed his true colors, in my opinion.
I don't mind it, but I understand why people are upset. On the NBC platform, with Bill Cosby sitting in prison, a lot of people thinking because of NBC, wrong place, wrong time. Comedy's comedy to me, though. I wish he would have did some worse, but it is
Wow.
what it, and that's no disrespect to Bill Cosby. Just be real and authentic.
He's an old man, though. I mean, now, like, man.
It ain't like you took away his commissary or tried to put him in jail longer.
Who's America's dad now? Wow.
Got him. Like, damn.
Dang, Ed.
And then Bill called him a Hollywood slave. So shout out to Mr. Cosby. Throwing shots right back. I mean, it is what it is. Hopefully Mr. Cosby can get out soon and he can be exonerated.
Definitely. Well, man, over a few days ago was an NBA game going on the other day, and a fan yelled something at Isaiah Thomas of what team is he on again?
The Wizards.
The Wizards. Okay, my bad. The Washington Wizards. And he went to the fan and he said something to him. Sandman has that backstory that's been blowing up today.
Yeah, man. So Isaiah Thomas, he went into the stands and he had some things to say. Now, he was shooting free throws, and he said while he was running back after making one of three free throws, the fan put up his middle fingers and said, "Fuck you, bitch," three times.
Wow.
3 times. Now, if you haven't seen it, Isaiah Thomas walked into the stands. He was calm. He had his full control over his emotions. He said, "Don't be disrespectful. I'm a man before anything. Be a fan." Now, the dude's response was, "Hey, I'm sorry. I just wanted a Frosty." Now, if people don't know what a Frosty is, it's the motherfucking milkshakes from Wendy's. 76ers were giving them out last night if the opposing team missed free throws. So the man was mad because he made 1 of 3 and he couldn't get his milkshake. So he said, "Fuck you, bitch," 3 times and stuck his middle finger up. Oh, God, Isaiah Thomas Jr. was suspended for 2 games because of this. It's in the rule books that it doesn't matter if it's non-combative or what. You cannot go as an NBA player into the stands and approach a fan by any means.
Yeah.
So he was suspended according to the book of the law of the NBA. But what are your thoughts on
Did anything happen to the fan at all? No.
0.
Wow.
Oh, no. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. He was banned for a year from Wachovia Center. So no sporting events in the Wachovia
he should have
Center.
got charges. I mean, I guess it's not really a threat like that, but still, I mean, I don't like the fact that the brother got suspended for that, to be honest. I think it should have been a situation, where he should have been reprimanded, because that's like a hostile situation. Somebody saying F you and sticking their middle fingers up, and you walk into the stands and you go over and say something to him, politely. Obviously, we seen it. It was very politely. It was never a threat.
Nope.
But the NBA is going to stand by their rules. It's like that fence is here. I don't care what happens. It's like Life, the movie. Remember the gun line? Don't cross the gun line. I don't care if you get pushed over, whatever. You getting shot. Yeah, I mean, that's what happened to him. He got shot. Definitely don't agree with that. But, it is what it is with that.
This is, I wanted to do this story because you see this, like, where people feel as though they're protected because I'm here and you're there. You're here to entertain me so I could say or do whatever I want. We're starting to see that in a different age with the internet and people thinking that they could say whatever they want to people because they're in the confines behind their phone or their computer, safe in their home, doing whatever it is they're doing. And I love the fact that even though Isaiah Thomas Jr. probably suspected that he would be suspended, even though it was nonsense and he tweeted that it was BS, he knew as a man he had to go and say something, because how dare you treat me like a piece of meat or like I'm just here simply to entertain you. You want a fucking ice cream so you could go and scream whatever you want to me dead to my face, and I don't have the right as a man to say something back? No, I do, and I will.
Right.
Shout out to him for keeping his composure, because like I said in the pre-production, glad this motherfucker wasn't Ron Artest, because he would have been knocking everybody out in the damn stands.
Yeah.
Certain people don't condone certain things, give them upbringing and things like that, and you just got to watch your mouth. Now, we hear bitches that all the time.
Yeah.
But it's funny because well over 6'3", well over 200.
Right.
When nobody say it to the face. And this is like, keep the line of respect there. If I'm having a disagreement with anybody that has a disagreement with me, I would never call them out their name. Never going to sit there and be disrespectful unless I'm initiating disrespect for a reason.
Right.
Now, if you want to initiate disrespect for a reason, that's another thing. But having a conversation or disagreement or not having a Frosty, you got to treat people like human beings or expect the repercussions. Yeah,
I think well said, man. Not really more to add to that. That was dope. So, a little 2-game suspension. He'll be back at it.
Facts.
And shout out to Isaiah Thomas, though, for handling that way.
Like a man.
Yeah.
Good job. Because like I said, another situation, somebody would have been getting put to sleep.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, man, Fat Joe had a interview, I think it was, Sandman, where he dropped some real heavy information for the people.
He was on Who Kids podcast or radio show, I believe, and he was talking about being a peacemaker. I'll let Joe talk and we'll get to it.
Like a hip hop mediator with a lot of beefs out there. People call you to shut shit down. Well, I had the beat once. I had
countless phone calls.
This is a real, all the time.
Yeah.
I think I got one a day, right?
Yeah, that's wild,